Alright, what is up, everybody? It's Lids, and today we are back for some more Hades, so I gotta be honest with you. We had a bit of a mix-up where,
Got something new to try.
in my previous run that I attempted to record, we had an amazing go, in which we made it further than we'd ever gone, found an amazing synergy, got some interesting encounters that we haven't run into thus far, and the recording got messed up. So as of right now, it is a still image of me standing right here as I'm talking for the entirety of the video. So you can hear the audio, but you can't see anything. I'm assuming that probably means that I will not end up uploading it.
You're pretty quick, you know, boyo. Just be sure to use that fancy dash of yours and keep them guessing. Don't let them catch you standing still.
It's true.
Dash like mad instead of standing still. That's not the worst advice, I guess.
So I'm going to attempt to recreate some of that magic, but I'm not sure if we can do it. We'll see if we can pull it off. Fortunately, it does appear as though this is actually recording correctly, knock on wood. So maybe
My weapon's hidden.
we can repeat. Alright, your attack fires a wave that pierces foes. I like that a lot. Hold attack to strike rapidly. We had a similar thing to that with our spear not long ago. I think both of these are potentially quite good.
Stygius grows stronger.
Okay. But the thought process here is that what we're going for is we're using Nyx's item, which gives us life whenever we get darkness. And in now pretty solid amounts. So the hope there is that we can rack up a bunch of darkness. I absolutely invited that hit. And use that as a sustainable source of life, where otherwise we might not be able to get such life. Okay, so we can get coins, or we can get Athena. I like Athena a lot. Think we ought to go this route. There is a chaos room, so it would be great if we could make it out of this room relatively unscathed, so that we can take on... Ow, I thought we were going to kill him before he managed to hit us. That was my bad. But yeah, it'd be great if we could finish this off without taking too much damage as he gets hit. So that we don't feel so bad about popping into the Chaos Room. Let's see what Athena has for us.
Your father Hades and my father Zeus have not communicated in some time, and Zeus refuses to explain. Something transpired between the two of them. Perhaps you know better than I.
Yeah, I mean, there's always been that rivalry between Hades and his brothers Zeus and Poseidon, but it does seem like, as I think I've said before, it's a little strange that we have people who are actively trying to help us, that being most of the other gods, and then we have Hades, on the other hand, who is doing just the opposite. Dash? No. Our dash can deflect. I'm not sure if maybe we've seen this before. Generally, when I see the deflect, I tend to use it with our default attack. But that is, now that I think of it more, an intriguing option where if we're trying to just plain old avoid damage using dash, we might actually be able to launch enemies' projectiles back at them. That's maybe a little more intriguing than I might have previously given it credit for. This is so fundamentally sound. I do like
Shield of light.
the hammer upgrade that we picked up at the very beginning. So I think both of those things in combination can be very helpful. So I'm going to take the boring fundamentals option. But let's see if we can spice it up a little bit with chaos.
As wise goddess Athena has imbued you with her charms, I see, no son of Hades. Perhaps to her, you are a tool with which her broken family may as yet be mended.
Yeah, that's one way to phrase it. Okay, so what do we have here? Next 3 encounters. Cast deals damage to us, but afterwards our boons have a greater chance of being rare. I don't like this one. I've said it before and I'll say it again. sacrificing life to get a little bit more life, not great, especially not when we are preventing ourselves from seeing the rewards of each chamber. Slain foes. Toss an Inferno Bomb, and our cast deals damage. That is decent. We don't use our cast very often, if at all, quite frankly. So I think I would rather go this route, and for that reason, the downside isn't very bad for us. Whereas, it's not a huge percentage. Getting that additional boon. Oh, we did get some coins out of that. Getting some damage to ourselves when we use our special, but getting the rarity on boon would be quite nice. It's still relatively early in the process. I suggest we have plenty of time to benefit from that. That definitely seems like the type of upgrade that, over time, is more and more beneficial. So, I think we upgraded Nyx's item because we've gone through enough zones with it. So it used to be giving us 50% of the darkness's life. What does it give now? Probably 75, because that gave us 7. I think that's what I expected to happen. And then presumably with the last level, you'll get up to 100% of darkness gained as life when you pick it up. Would be pretty sweet. That is actually one thing that we did not have going for us as much with our previous run. Was, I think, that upgrade to that item will be new. Trying to be a little more conscious of where enemies are attacking from now. We got a little sloppy in those previous few rooms.
What do we have here?
And again, I mean, it's not a huge amount of life, don't get me wrong, but the ability to get it regularly is still, I think, quite strong. Store 15% life when you enter a chamber. I mean, is technically useful, because that would get us close to full life afterward, but I think I'm going to hold off for the time being. I mean, presumably we could get better things in there, albeit we would probably need, or only be able to benefit from that if we had more coins than we currently do. So I don't think that's terribly helpful. So for that reason, I think we go for Poseidon. But we will save up that stuff for a future encounter. A future shop, rather. All of our coins. Get out of there. Remember, the wall attacks actually allow us to deal more damage. So if we can sneak those in... Oh, I don't think we got hit there. Miraculously. Alright, one down. There we go. I think
you get.
we avoided getting hit that entire encounter, surprisingly. I mean, there was a lot of explosions there, so it's a little hard to tell. I think that's how much life we came in.
Cruel father Hades, he's my elder brother, you know that. Not exactly the expressive type, but never was. We seldomly saw eye to eye on things.
Alright, but let's cut to the chase here. What do you have for us?
In exchange.
Ooh. Okay, so this would swap out our attack upgrade that we have with Athena, the one that gave us the ability to deflect in, I think, a little less damage than what we currently have, or would get, if we were to use this. And, we'd rather knock foes back, or have that deflect ability? Debatable. Not sure I've actually used this knockback ability at all. But I think, by default, our attacks do knock enemies back a little bit. So I'm a little intrigued to test that out, but at the same time, hold on a second, because I see this is epic. Your special deals more damage and knocks foes away. And we really have not done a very good job of using our specials frequently. So that is certainly something that we could make an effort to do more of, and this would be incentive to do that. Or we could take the easy way out and just take a bunch of items. Remember, the darkness does give us life, so this is actually a little bit of a boost in that way. But let's try with the special.
You honor me.
Because I think that is something that we ought to do. Make it more of a habit. That was a good start. Four. Ow. I was gonna say, we were starting off so well. We did get hit once there,
Nectar bottle.
but very close to another perfect room. Alright, Aphrodite. She does have some really powerful upgrades. So I'm intrigued. I'm for it. Alright, there's one down. Remember, we do have this ranged attack. It's not as powerful as our default attack, but if we really wanted to, we could make an effort to take these guys out from afar and do so a little more safely. Oh, and one other thing that may not... Oh, see this? I mean, we'll have to talk to Aphrodite first. One thing that may not have been apparent, because I think I talked about it in the episode that I'm assuming will not end up going live.
You have met Athena, dearest, so you know not all the ladies on Olympus are alike. And I, for one, am grateful to our forebears for that.
I do now realize that there is, in fact, a dash attack that combines the dash and damaging abilities together. So, I realize that's a thing. I realize also that, I was maybe not doing the best job of reading here, because as you can see, it doesn't even say here. Okay, in my defense, it doesn't describe it here, but on some of the dash abilities, where it has damage listed there, it will say, press attack soon after using a dash to combine for a dash attack. It does, in fact, deal damage, because I was talking a lot about, are we multiplying 0 by plus 50% and it's not really doing anything? Okay, so both of these are very intriguing. This may or may not have been one of the key features of the really good run that I just had that didn't get recorded. So I'm awfully tempted to go this route, but at the same time, I really like that dash ability because dash is obviously usually defensive, and weak is a great way to make sure that you're not taking as much damage. Ooh. Okay, and we might be able to get more Aphrodite action going on if we go here. Or upgrade, yeah, I think we would go here, but let's see. We can get some coins here. Let's give it a shot, because we have some, but we're just shy, unless we were to get some right here. Just shy of being able to buy some nice stuff.
Yeah, might as well.
Even if we don't have a shop in the immediate future. Of course, we are taking a little bit of a risk here, because there's the possibility we might take some damage. That was pretty good. We didn't take any damage.
There.
We got 84 coins out of it. So now we can afford something really nice. And I think we do want to go this way. So this will be more enemies in here than usual. Because we will actually have 2 rounds of attacks.
One of them's not going to like this.
Right, exactly. One of these people is going to turn around and try to attack us, the one that we don't pick. So, but then we'll get the other one afterward, assuming that we are successful. Let's go with... I think both of them have defensive things and offensive things. Let's go with Aphrodite, because I just passed up the opportunity to get another good thing from her. And look at that! We got a better version of the one that I was just saying I might want to take. Although, oh god, that looks so good. When slain, foes damage other nearby foes and inflict weak. I really like this, but I really like this too. You take damage. I want to test this out, because I don't think I've done it yet. Tina is not happy with us, of course.
Terms, cousin. I ask only for your cooperation, yet still you turn your back.
I like the way in which this ability has the potential... Ow, I stood in that attack. Has the potential to take out multiple enemies simultaneously. It is very loud right now. We are taking a lot of damage. Some of that might be from Athena's stuff. In fact, I'm pretty sure that it is. So, she maybe exacted her revenge pretty well on us here. But I see there's also a shop, so we might be able to get some life back.
Take no offense. Exacting vengeance is just something we Olympians all do from time to time.
Indeed. Alright, but, okay. So, and now, the aid gets even better, presumably, because this is epic. Although I don't remember what Athena's does. Let's see. Your call briefly makes you impervious and deflect all attacks. So we can't take damage, and we turn foes' attacks back at them. That does sound amazing. This also sounds great. But I think we have to take the one that's epic, right? We're probably fairly close to the boss fight with Meg, so getting an aid in time for that is useful. This will also be helpful. So here's what I was talking about before, where... So as things would normally stand, we wouldn't be able to get an immediate life upgrade out of this. This one requires that you slay foes in order for that to trigger. But this one, since we have Nyx's jacket, does mean that we actually get a little bit of life out of it. But we probably want to take that one too, because given how, I'm assuming we will run into Meg soon. We could use all the help we can get at the moment. And if we were to blow that up on ourselves, then that would not be doing ourselves too many favors. But let's see. Oh, I almost ran into that. The explosion. I may have gotten hit by the skull. But I'm liking what we have going on here. I think we have a lot of good stuff happening. And look at that. We just killed an enemy without even attacking it. So that is the benefit of having the Athena ability, or not Athena, the Aphrodite ability, of dealing additional damage when we attack stuff, or when we kill stuff. And do we have a deflect from Athena? It looks like we do. I didn't remember that. Must have been a while ago. There we go. I feel like we didn't have this much light coming into this room. Did we somehow gain it? I mean, I know we had that item that gave enemies the chance of dropping life items. I don't specifically remember seeing any of them. Granted, this will help. We actually haven't gotten any life boosts thus far in this run, but because we had a few successful runs recently, I was able to increase our starting life quite significantly using all the darkness that I picked up. Ah, should not have gotten hit there. That was sloppy. Okay, I did see some life drop there. A life item, that is. Okay, I see we have a call. No, it goes away after this room, so we ought to use it. There it is. And it lasted just short enough that we still got hit. So that was kind of unfortunate. Oh, don't stand there. Or there. Alright, that's useful. We do have a shop with 200 coins. That, I believe, is enough to buy one of just about anything. Not anything else of interest here? We could get an upgrade. And honestly, we do have a lot of good stuff that could be very powerful if upgraded further, but I would assume that we will at least have the option to upgrade things at the shop. If not, do that and then some. So I think we take this route. And I think this is going to be the first room before the boss fight. Yeah, it is. Okay. So. And just that. We have the ability... Oh, Charon. Don't mind me as I destroy everything and kind of attack you too. So we could purchase an upgrade. The thing is, if we do that, we won't have enough to also get a boon. So this is Zeus, which, again, if I'm... Well, okay, no. That wasn't the previous run that didn't get recorded, but the run before that, or maybe a couple before that recently, we had Zeus's lightning attack on our default attack, where it chains damage between enemies, which allowed us to attack other normal enemies in the boss arena, and while still damaging Meg from afar, that made it really easy to not take a lot of damage from her. This is Hermes, and I really like Hermes, generally speaking. He has a lot of passive buffs that seem really powerful, and he just generally seems much rarer than a lot of the other guys, so I really like all these things, is basically the thing. I think this is the safest, because we know we can upgrade one of the things that we already like, because we have it. This is probably the next safest, because I think there's a pretty good chance that we'll find something that we like here that isn't going to override some of the things that we already have. Zeus, maybe the highest risk, high reward option, because I would suspect that the things that we're looking for here might be things like the default attack power-up, which we already have, so we'd be replacing something that we have. So for that reason, let's go with Hermes, I think, is the middle ground. I do like this. Use and call, gain dodge, chance, and move speed. So we don't really need this at the moment, because when we call, we gain invulnerability. So having dodge on top of that doesn't really do much. Moving more quickly is useful, I suppose, but I just don't see that being a huge boost, whereas being able to recover HP from dashing...
Hermes, send me on.
I'm not necessarily sure that we'll be making a conscious effort to do that, but I think we're going to be doing it anyway. Oh.
Hi there.
Okay.
Oh, finally. I've been waiting for this. Really.
Okay, so... previously, minor spoiler here, in said previous run that did not record successfully, we ran into another person instead of Meg, and it looks like here is another scenario in which something very similar is happening.
You must be one of Megara's lovely sisters. I don't believe we've had the pleasure. Waiting for what, exactly?
So sick of, doing my regular job, uninterrupted, not having to clean up Meg's messes.
I wonder if, having beaten Meg enough, Meg has basically been demoted and replaced with her sisters. Tormentor of Passions.
I get the feeling we're starting off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
Anyway, I always wanted to kill a god. You'll have to do.
Okay. Let's see what you're all about.
She's getting mad.
See that you have rage, and this concerns me. I do not know what this does. And I probably should not have stood directly in that attack. Okay. That's the rage. Assuming this is time to run. Okay, rage is dying down, sort of. It's gone. What the heck was that? That still gave life items. I do see we have a call. Okay. This is a variation on Meg's ability. Presumably. We missed. Oh, I ran straight into that one. Okay. She has rage. She still has a lot of health. I can't help but notice. Where did you go? There you are. I want to use the call. I'm not sure if it makes sense to use it while she's in rage. Oh, that was silly. That was so silly. Since that might help us dodge some damage. She is very upset right now. Her rage does not appear to be going down. In fact, I'm not sure that it will go down at this stage. Alright, we're calling. Making the run for it. Try to finish her off. Got her. Ooh. That was different.
I don't like her very much.
Can't say I blame you. Let's see, look at that. Huge amount of darkness that we got there. Got a life item too. And with all that, we are basically at full HP. Not to mention, I believe we are about to get some when we go through here.
Let's hear it, Father.
Do you have anything to say? Usually, Hades trash talks us here. Apparently not this time. Okay. So, we can sell things that we have here. I do generally like everything that we're using at the moment, unless... Yeah. I think I'm in favor of all the things we have. Are there any good things here we might be able to get? Movement speed, +1 cast, store life when you enter a chamber. I mean, that's potentially useful. We don't need it right now, but if we're anticipating that we'll take a lot of damage once we enter Asphodel, which, let's be honest, we probably will, then that could be useful, but at the same time, we don't have that many coins right now, and I wonder, would it maybe be better to save up
I'll just go on.
so that way, if we do encounter a shop in here, we can still make good use of it. And there are better things.
Change of scenery, at least.
Nothing special here. Life early. We haven't seen many life rooms in Asphodel. Alright, here goes nothing. You guys. Okay, gotcha. Got you. Who's left? You guys? Alright, you got a big one now. Even have ability to call. Oddly enough. Just a normal room. But we didn't need it.
There's something.
A rare occasion when we did not take damage in Asphodel. Okay, so I see there's a trove there. Just thinking ahead a little bit. We could get some life here, because remember, this means we can get some life. Or nectar, which maybe is not the best thing to target in Asphodel when we could use things that upgrade our current run more directly. This would be gems. Okay, I don't think I don't necessarily think that we need them per se. Another thing that doesn't really upgrade this specific run as much as it's meant to upgrade future runs. Ow.
What else?
So deflecting hits against these guys that shoot a bazillion attacks seems really good. However, they are running away from me right now, which is frustrating because how am I supposed to get you?
You lived through all that.
Did take a little bit of damage there, not a ton, so
Cheers.
it's okay, but
Oh my.
certainly could have gone quicker had those guys not run away from us. Okay, so I think we go with the darkness. It has more of a direct benefit for this current run. Even if long-term, the nectar is probably still better. Prioritizing the short-term. Again, I would love you guys would stand somewhere where it is a little easier to hit you. That extra range becomes very helpful. Okay, so I do see we have one of the hooves that I probably made that a very easy opportunity for the hoove to hit us. Although, he only got hit by this guy, who continues to try to hide in these corners, which is quite frustrating. I mean, we can use our deflect to make it happen. If they actually were to hit us, that is. Get over here. Rare time when I do want you to hit me. Or at least try to. Think we got you? Yeah. Yeah, you're shooting so many projectiles that the deflect is pretty sweet. Okay. Not great from a taking damage standpoint, but we have enough life here, and we're getting small heals frequently enough that we're still pulling it off. Okay, now, this would be Hermes. This would be a shop in which I believe we could upgrade our existing abilities, but I'm not sure we would be able to afford much else. Trying to see if there's anything else that might allow us to get a little bit more coins. Because I think upgrades cost 100, the life upgrades cost 125, so we're close, but not quite there for that. Boons cost 150, so we wouldn't be able to get one of those either. And the weapon upgrades, the hammers, cost 200. Life upgrades cost, like food, for short-term life upgrades, not maximum life upgrades, cost even less. They're like 50 or something like that, so I don't think we can quite afford enough to make that useful, sadly. It does also mean a room with no enemies, and there might be something to be said for that. That was an interesting sound effect that made. Sounded like a dog. Oh. Okay, did get you down. Not you guys. Along with foods, no less. Apparently I can still deflect those freezing attacks though, so that's good. Glad to get rid of you. Yeah, can deflect them. Confirmed. Oh, but that still managed to hit me. Doesn't seem like they deal as much damage as other normal projectiles, because those were only dealing 2 damage, I think. But granted, they do enough other stuff that it still hurts. So it usually means you're taking multiple hits.
The boss. The reason Poseidon got to you before I did is I let him. He's under the impression he's as spry as ever.
Alright, what do you have for us? Alright, getting a chance to... Whoa! I don't think we've seen Legendary terribly often. If ever. I was gonna say, this looks like a solid option to just have in our back pocket all the time, but this seems like we, ought to use this ability more often. Our cast. And that is just as much reason as any. Make it happen. And similarly, testing, or checking, for other things of note in here, because once we get to Asphodel, it does seem like things are certainly more difficult. So you want to try to find any advantages that you can. Oh! This is the first time we've ever had 3 options? I feel like it is. We can go, this is Athena, Artemis, Life. So we have a lot of boons from God. So I think that there's a pretty high chance that if we were to take either of these, that we would have to replace something that we already have. So for that reason, I think we actually opt to go for the life upgrade, and other than that, I think the things that we ought to be looking for would be upgrading the abilities that we currently have, or once we get a little further along, maybe we can start to get a little pickier in terms of we have a better sense as to which of our existing abilities we would be most willing to swap out. Still more? Apparently? Yep. Oop, I almost ran into that. Still more. Somewhere. Zone is huge. Huh? You. Where were you? And there's more after that. Got shoots the lava there. That's probably not what we ought to have been doing. Oh, I did not see you at first. That who? I would like to get some hits on. Alright, got it. Let's see, we have our call up. But I don't think we need it. Not that there's really any downside of using it when we have it. And we do have a lot of life. This is more life than we've ever had. At least maximum life than we've ever had before. And, I mean, if we really wanted to, we could continue to pile on top of that. And I think that is better, short term at least, than picking up additional coins.
Next island.
We're making it pretty far thus far. We do still have a lot of life, but that can change quickly. All it takes is a nasty combo in gear. Nasty enemies. That looks like a throw. So we may have more enemies after this, or at least have the option to fight more enemies after this if we so choose. Still more. Okay. Yep, getting a little more extravagant here with some of the bombers showing up. See if we can get rid of some of the more standard enemies to make life a little easier on us. Make it less crowded in here. There you are. Whoa! Where'd you go? Still more. Uh-oh. This is getting very crowded. I was saying before about trying to thin things out a bit seems more relevant than ever. Along with deflecting attacks. That seems quite useful right about now. Ooh, some of those did still hit us, though. The last one? You are. Oh, man.
That's better.
There's a lot in that one. Okay, so we have a trove for gems, which I'm not a huge fan of. I do see this upgrade room. I think that's definitely the way we will want to go next. I also see this shop.
What's for sale?
Jern Infernal Trove. I mean, maybe we are potentially about to do one. I think... Actually, what probably makes the most sense is if we're, well... If we do this Infernal Trove here, then we could do this life upgrade afterwards, because at the moment, we only need 34, and this gives 54. Whereas if we take some damage with the Infernal Trove, then we might actually need that full amount of life here. Let's give it a shot. Again, I don't necessarily think that we have to do it, because it's more of a long-term gain, or potentially a short-term sacrifice. Where are the enemies? Okay, I do like it's these types of enemies.
Why do I bother?
That wasn't so bad. I don't think we took any damage.
Very
We didn't.
nice.
So, not so bad after all. And we even got some coins out of it, because we just get coins from taking out enemies,
Some
so...
of Charon's wares.
Now we'll do this.
I'll take it.
We still have enough left to purchase a boon from a shop if we so choose, but I think this is the way to go. Upgrade some stuffs. Ooh, this looks like a nasty room. Hey, I'm anticipating some coups. Ow. Thought that was going to blow up on you and give us the kill, but apparently not. Okay. A lot more where all that came from, though.
You're dead.
That was a lot of deflections there. I think it dealt a lot of damage. They have killed 2 people with it. I can't see anything. Let's get rid of you, though. even if you're, in some ways, helping me offensively. Ooh, I may have still gotten hit by one of those. Nice. We may have actually come out relatively unscathed there. Okay, so what ought we do here? We could improve Athena's aid, which I think is a pretty strong option because aid is obviously powerful, but is also, I think it's epic? This one? Whereas special deals more... If I were to swap one out, it would probably be this. We just rarely use our special. When slain... granted, we were talking about how we ought to do that more often. I really like this, though. Maybe not the best for boss fights in particular, which I think we are very close to doing it. This seems like more directly in preparation for a boss fight, whereas this seems like better for any other room. Lots of enemies in it. So I think, given the circumstances, we ought to do this, although I do still really like that. So maybe that's something that we'll eye as a potential option if we have an upgrade available to us soon. But I also, similarly, want to take a quick look around because, well, want to make sure we're ready for this. Oh, well, we may have room for an upgrade immediately. Otherwise, a shop, I mean, we'd be able to buy a boom or an upgrade, but not both simultaneously. So I guess we go this route. Save our coins. I'm not sure we're going to have much time to use them after this anyway. Oh, and I think this is the last room before the boss. It seems like every time you're about to go into a boss fight, the room before it never has enemies in it. You did pick up a little bit of coins there. It was worthwhile. Yeah, so we use this.
Delicious.
And so now we know we are about to go into the boss encounter. So, with that in mind, dash deals damage where you start. So this increases the damage of our dash, but I mean, yes, we've established that it does in fact deal damage, but I just don't think it's terribly significant. Whereas we could do this one, and again, probably more of the type of thing that you do when you're going up against multiple enemies simultaneously, so maybe in a boss encounter, you're dashing away sometimes, and that makes it easier to deal damage even when you're playing more defensively. Maybe this is still the way to go. And now, alright, we've officially made it to the point that I made to on the previous run. I was concerned it might be a while until we got here again, but no, we did it. And we do as well as what I did last time.
You touch me, and I shall have your head.
So, yes, I have done this fight once before. It went surprisingly well, but that probably means that it is not going to go well this time. Because, you know, such are the way of things. Alright, what are you up to now? Okay, now is where things get a little interesting. Change it up a little bit. Okay, let's not get hit by stuff. Like, walking straight into stuff. Maybe not be the way to do that. Don't remember there being all these enemies last time. Where am I right now? Lost track of myself for a second there. I do see we have our call meter up a bit, but I also think that we need to, or what we ought to, see if we can take that a little further first. Right, stay patient. There we go. Now we can deal damage to you again. I doubt that we can deflect those attacks. Probably should have known that, and played a little more defensively for a second there, and I do remember that. Not that I remember how I'm supposed to block it. And yes, this gets more difficult here. There will be more of these guys out. Ow. I was not planning on getting hit there, of course. Okay, now we really ought to do this, though. Maximum meter, I think this is the first time we've ever done this before. Using my special as well. Used all of the abilities that time. We are actually already ready to do at least a simple call. Ow. That was silly. Shouldn't have taken that damage. Really close to finishing that one off. I would love to do that successfully, but there we go. Now we should be able to deal damage here again. Ow. Shouldn't have gotten as greedy as I did there. Wait for that. Right now we hide behind some of these, which I was a little slow to do, admittedly. Hide on the assumption that you're about to bring out some friends, I would think. Yeah. Don't know what the significance of the different colors they have is. Might mean that they do different types of damage, different types of attacks. Probably what it means. Ow. I walked into that one. Admittedly, there's enough going on here, and the angle of the camera is such that I'm definitely losing track of myself on a few occasions here. Let's use this, because we can. Okay, it's down. We did manage to take out another one of these guys with it. Just you. See that. You're trying to attack me. Alright, now let's get out of there. Finish you off. I hit by something. Oh, when I ran into the fire. Right, get out of there. And take you out again. Gonna try to do something to deal damage, presumably. Might have missed my opportunity a little bit there. Yep, and that was silly. But we got him! With some life to spare at that, I think.
Enough.
Ooh. Oh, right. Yeah. More than half life remaining. I have no idea what this does, or what it is.
Fetch me something good back home.
Diamond. Helled out of Asphodel. Stygian Blade. Alright, and we are... Okay, well, let's just take a quick look to make sure we aren't missing anything here in the boss arena. I doubt it, but yeah, on to the 3rd floor for the first time ever. That is exciting. Whew.
Still there, are you?
I am indeed.
Alright. Up to full HP. And now we can switch our trinket, or our keepsake, sorry. That's gonna be a hard habit to overwrite. But, I think we're fine with it. I like it a lot. We could potentially sell some of these things that we've since picked up, but I think I like what we have there. In terms of the shop, I mean, this gives us life, but we have full life, so it's mostly just the darkness that we get the benefits from. I mean, similarly to what we were talking about before, we could use this on the assumption that we're going to take extra damage in subsequent rooms once we get to the next area, because I really don't know what to expect. I've never been there before, I've never seen it before. Presumably, it's just more difficult than Asphodel, but I don't really know.
Past the flaming river escalates the hidden stair toward the most well-guarded, splendorous environment within the underworld. The heavenly Elysium, home eternal to the greatest souls which ever lived.
Ooh.
Surely they're friendly, right?
Something tells me they aren't. Okay, so maybe we buy this. We will be just shy of being able to afford a boon in a subsequent shop unless we happen to come across a bunch of additional coins, so I think we wait for that very reason.
Never been this far.
Indeed.
In the bag.
Oh. Whoa. Certainly looks nicer.
Elysium.
I have no idea what to brace ourselves for.
The rare heavenly splendors of Elysium, reserved for only the most great of mortal souls, spread forth luxuriantly all about the fire-stepping prince.
Luxuriantly? Really?
Is that a word? Break those. Not sure why I would really want to, but it is an option. Okay, so, we have not really had much opportunity to get hammer upgrades. Might have been the very first thing we got this run, but I don't think we've seen it since, so that's an intriguing option, in addition to how it seems like we have some really good stuff with our current boon rewards, and so upgrading those seems pretty great too. Let's go this route. So like I said, we haven't seen much of it.
Ready for me?
And I don't know what to expect, because these guys look an awful lot like us. Those look like they explode. Which I was hoping, might hit them. And they come back, too. Alright, one down, I think. Two down? What is this thing? Apparently there are more enemies, too. Yes.
That one fully rearmed.
What? Alright, do they turn into eyeballs when they're done? Then you need to kill the eyeballs, otherwise they'll come back?
Who's next?
Ow. Okay, so you fire a lot of projectiles, not so surprisingly. At least these guys do. Remember, I need to deal damage to you quickly, otherwise you will come back.
No problem.
Let that explode. Okay. Special hits twice in a smaller area. Oh, this is gonna explode on us, isn't it? Dash attack hits twice and deals plus 30% damage. Hold attack to strike rapidly, dealing 25 base damage per hit. These are all pretty substantively altering options here. Ooh, altering. Well, okay, this one doesn't really. Take this.
Feels
I was
like
expecting this to blow up on us as we were trying to select our reward, so I was concerned there. Ooh. Okay, where are we headed? It comes back? What? Okay, so life or coin. Okay. They do blow up if you hit them. Confirmed. We actually have a fair amount of coins, so I think we go this route. We have a ton of life, but I mean, I think that is one of the primary reasons for our success thus far. Try to dash out of the way of that attack there. Oh. More where that came from. A lot more where that came from. Ow. Well, that's gonna blow up too. Need to get rid of you. And you. Okay.
It's a relief.
Yeah, we are taking a lot of damage from those guys, because they are a lot more complex in terms of the way in which they are attacking you. Makes it a little tricky. But remember, again, the darkness is effectively a life boost. So that is probably the way we'll go. But I mean, at this rate, I'm looking for any and everything like this. It might help us out.
Something I can use.
I mean, Chaos Gates are great, but I'm not sure if we can manage to survive them at this stage. When we have powerful enemies, not the best HP at the moment. We do that because, again, it gives us darkness and life. Probably need this. And then, as much as I would love to make that happen, I think we need to pass. Just because we're testing all this stuff out for the first time here. And want to give us the greatest chance possible to make it as far as possible to see what this place is all about. Those things do appear to be able to attack us. Alright, so the deflect looks amazing against these guys. They have so many projectiles that we're firing back their way. But I can't help but notice that you are impervious to some damage here. It is not cool. Okay. Got a little bit of life out of that. Actually, a fair amount. That was pretty solid. Not sure I'm seeing anything else of note. Less over on this side or something. No? Okay. So we have Zeus, we have Poseidon. It's a straight up choice between two different boons. We do have a Poseidon option at the moment. It is theoretically, I think that purple means that is an epic one, so it is supposed to be good. I think we give Zeus a chance here. Got 37 life entering it. What?
You come from the bowels of hell. This is not your place.
Okay. Uh-oh. I think we made it to the boss fight.
Agreed on both counts. Just passing through, so if you'll excuse me.
If you don't mind.
I will not. The champion of Elysium would never back down from such a contest. Neither will I.
Okay.
Wait, you're not the champion of Elysium?
What?
You're the Bull of Minos. I can't imagine who's even stronger than you. Is it Heracles? Tell me it's Heracles.
I will not. You talk too much, short one. And get destroyed.
I mean, yes. I'm assuming that we will, in fact, be destroyed. I'm willing to bet that you are correct on that one. Okay, it seems like we just need to be patient. Has his fine attack periods, including ones in which he charges at us. Ow. And we just need to let him do his thing when that does happen. Woo! Okay, so he does that combo, and then he does a big leap at the end, in which he targets us directly. Like that. Ooh, I walked straight into that one. Okay, do your thing, do your thing. Just trying to be patient here. No, we're not dealing damage terribly quickly, but we're not taking too much damage either, which I think is a good sign. Uh-oh. Stop calling me short one! Yeah, I was expecting for him to spice things up a little bit at some point, though. That may be what we're about to see. Yep. Jump. Yep. And leap. No, no leap. Oop, almost lost my room to dash there. And it looks like he threw in a new ability there for a second. Right. I was waiting for him to do his attack where he charges to get this going. Ow.
Well done. You've earned your passage. I go now to recover for the next occasion that we meet.
Nice. Got him.
Beat the Bull of Minos. Lord Uncle Zeus.
Have we gifted Zeus anything yet? I'm not sure that we have. Give it a shot.
Lord Zeus, Uncle, please accept this offering and all my gratitude.
Goodness, nephew, that's an offering indeed. I'm thankful for your piety to me. And as a show of generosity to you in turn, I present this.
What you got for us?
Thanks, Lord Uncle Zeus.
Assuming it's similar to the other ones in that it gives us the chance of having Zeus spawn and with increased rarity of his boons.
So you are summoned to Hades by that Nyx, the night goddess, is that correct, nephew? Well, I suppose she's closest to a queen as your lord fathers like to find down there. I tried to match him up with some more wholesome types, but no, and here we are.
But supposedly it's actually Persephone. Whoa, heroic! Lots of good stuff here. This one, we've definitely not seen heroic before. Her special causes a lightning bolt to strike nearby foes. Would swap out the Poseidon one, but we were just saying how it seemed like our Poseidon option was not amazing. But let's at least see what the other options are. I mean, hard to pass that one up. Okay, so after you take damage, your foe is struck by lightning for a lot of damage. After using Call, you deal more damage for 5 seconds. I do actually really like that combination, because with our Call, with Athena's Call, we are immune to damage for a certain amount of time, depending on how much we charge up our meter. And being able to deal extra damage during that time period allows us to just stand right in front of an enemy, like a boss, and have a bunch of extra damage, face tank them, and wail away until the Call invulnerability period wears off. So I really like that combo. It seems like that would work really well. At the same time, I feel like I have to take this just because it is heroic, but maybe that's a bit of a trap. Maybe that is not the best match. Right. So we took down Minos. But apparently, not done yet. These guys are honestly quite tough too. Please die. Thank you. There's gotta be more, right? Yeah, that would just be too simple. I have no idea what you are. I was looking forward to having the opportunity to fight you solo, though. Ow. Alright, I really can't just face tank these guys. They are too smart to do that to them. What are those? Butterflies? Yes, they do hurt me. I was gonna say, they look a little too peaceful. Oh, are we really fully charged up? Wow. There's the extra damage, too, like I was saying. That's the combo we were looking for. And that is not as much life as I was hoping we might up there. Foe's chance to drop life, I mean, I think we need it right now. Everything else is not as strictly necessary. Like an Infernal Trove, I'm not sure we could survive it with these far more dangerous enemies that it would spawn. And the cast stuff, I mean, would be a little helpful. Okay. Yup. Was gonna say. Feel like I hear other stuff going on here. And I was just saying how a trove might be difficult because I'm not sure we could survive it. But at the same time, if it gives us life, maybe it's okay. At the same time, I feel like this might be final boss in this area. But I don't think we're going to be doing much with low HP. So I think we give this a shot. It is a risk. It might be the wrong move. We're going to find out. Ooh, I may not have killed this thing afterwards. Allowed him to respawn. That... Okay.
I should not be the supervisor here.
We did, on net, actually get a lot of life back from that, so I think that was very beneficial. It does also give us a few more coins. Does that change our approach for this? I don't think so. Still don't think we want to be racking up infernal troves. I mean, what's the probability of it giving us another life one, which is really the only one that we would be looking to do at this stage. So I think we go in here. And I feel like I don't see any indicator over here to suggest that it's the boss, but I mean, I guess all of these doorways look extravagant. This one does look particularly extravagant, though. Maybe I'm just imagining that. What are you? You are chariots. It is kind of funny, but I'm sure that you deal a lot of damage. One down. Ow. Stop running me over! There we go. There's gotta be more than just that, right? Ow. This is hurting. Use Athena to get rid of some of them. There we go. You get a little bit of life out of it. Not a lot, but some. Okay. And... ooh, okay. So, a few things to note here. Well, actually, let me check. There are other things that we skipped past. I don't think so. Okay. So, a couple things that we can do here. We can upgrade stuff that we already have. As I've been saying, we have some really nice stuff at the moment, so that could be very useful. This is 2 boons. Can be 2 boons, at least. Where we have Athena and we have Poseidon. But it's gonna be 2 rounds of enemies with a god attacking us simultaneously. Which, normally, you'd take that early on, but I think it's getting difficult enough that we need to play it a little bit safe here. For that reason, I think we take this route. Does that guy have a bow? More enemies? More enemies. I see those projectiles. Yeah, it's the guys that used to have the spears, instead coming at us with bow and arrows. They are, in many ways, kind of like a copy of us.
Power of Olympus.
Okay, so we can upgrade something. For using your call, deal more damage. I mean, this does seem really good. Otherwise, damage with our dash, but I think this is more important. Probably? I mean, this is more often, whereas this is less often, but more powerful when it does trigger, I would think. Let's do this. I think that one is more targeting bosses. Ooh. All these gates look really dramatic. Okay. Oh, those were the things that were shooting at us before.
Let's see what's in here.
Okay, we may still have this active. In fact, I think we do. But I guess it would refresh that duration. I don't think you can stack it up twice.
This one.
Apparently you can stack it up twice. And even this, I think, at this stage in the game, anything that can help us in the short term is very helpful. So for that reason, I think we go for the life instead of the coins, because it's not going to be too much to spend coins on for much longer. I suspect, at least. Mini chariots, they look like they explode. Yup. Yup. Not sure how I'm supposed to take them out without having them explode on me. I might technically still be deflecting those attacks, but I'm not certain. You guys need to stop that. That actually went fairly well. Alright, all the way up to 250 life. It's pretty humongous. I mean, that's probably twice the amount we've ever had with anything else. Or on any other previous run. Okay, looks like these are the only things left. And I think, well, I think we go with the shop, because we can afford some pretty good stuff. Presumably that means no more enemies. And it may mean we're about to go into the boss fight. Yes, I do believe we are. Okay, let's talk to Charon. Maybe he has something special to say in here.
Oh, I'm just fine. Thank you for asking, mate.
Indeed. Alright, can we get any more coins? I'm not sure it's gonna make huge difference.
In this chamber.
The magnificently ominous facade of the Great Elysian Stadium looms tall above the rabble-rousing prince, as if to goad him into such a competition which he cannot hope to win.
Cheers for the vote of confidence, old man.
We can do it! Even if the narrator doesn't believe in us. Okay, so. Life upgrade. Power upgrade. Actually, we can afford all this. Okay, so let's, I guess, start with this. Athena's Aid upgrade increases the duration, which does seem really good. Can increase the amount of damage that enemies do when we kill them, which, I mean, I'm guessing that's not going to be that much of a factor here, because, again, I'm assuming that in a boss fight there's going to be mostly just one enemy. Maybe he spawns little friends to help him out, but I think we have to go in assuming that it's going to be more or less a 1v1. After using, and then this is the call damage upgrade that we were talking about before. So these both are playing off of each other. These are the things that we're doing that are the key to dealing a lot of damage to the powerful enemies. And I think this is more important than this, because the longer we can stay invulnerable or impervious, the better. If we have a damage boost while that's happening, then great, but this is the key. So we go that route. And am I right in thinking? Yes, we will be able to get both of these things.
I'll take that.
And now, oh boy, I don't know what to expect here, but I think we might be going into a pretty big fight.
Oh, wow.
Beware, short one. Now you face a foe more terrible even than I. The only foe whom I've ever faced who bested me.
Excuse me, I bested you? Just like 5 minutes ago. So you mean me?
Hold, fiend. You'll walk not one more step toward the light of day, so long as I am here.
Theseus.
Theseus, no way. You two are legends. I'd be honored if we had a sporting contest here.
A naked attempt to sway me from my convictions. Defend yourself, you blackguard, and may the gods show you some mercy, for I shall not.
Alright, here goes nothing. Okay. He shoots his spear. Oh. And I don't know to what extent they're going to be smart and play like a team. It would be really great if we could get rid of one of them. Oh, you are aiming at me at the moment. I can't help but notice there is a target on my back. Or more so on my head, really. Ow. we have certainly more damage on the Minotaur at the moment, which suggests maybe that's the direction we ought to try to go. Theseus is blocking many of our attacks. Ow! Yeah, we've done very little damage to Theseus. Largely because of that block, I would assume. I missed on all of those attacks, I'm pretty sure. Oh, did not mean to stand there. Okay, he's doing his charge, which means it's a good time to do this. Except it didn't quite last long enough. Miss. Okay, Minotaur was at least momentarily immune. Oh, that's still... Oh, that wasn't Theseus, that was the Minotaur that hit me. Deflecting a lot of attacks here. I would definitely say the Minotaur seems more straightforward to fight. Seems like with Theseus, he may actually have less HP. We just, need to be more strategic with when we're choosing to fight him. Oh, should not have gotten hit there. Oh, need to time the dash better than that. Here we go. Let's finish you off. You're impervious. We're low on HP. We could at least get one of them down. That would be great. Close. We're not there. Oh, that was a mistake. No! Ah! I got a little carried away there and wanted to just take down the Minotaur. Man, that was
that ball hits rather hard.
Far and away our best run ever. Far and away.
What happened to Hypnos?
That was awesome. No Hypnos. And what do you have to say about that ordeal?
Ah, for shame, boy. I thought perhaps you'd finally made it out.
Seems like we got very close.
Really? I mean, oh wait, you're not serious. That famous sense of humor shining through.
I jest, of course. You'll never make it out, as I keep telling you to no avail. But you've gone farther than expected. So who knows?
Indeed. That, I mean, for all I know, those might have been the last enemies for our freedom. Get it out entirely. No Achilles to talk to? Of course, Hades wants to talk trash to us. Meg, we haven't seen you for a while. Seems like your sisters have been doing most of the fighting for you.
Leave me alone. We've nothing to discuss here anymore.
I was just checking up on you. Just let me know if you wanted to talk for any reason.
Hey?
I'm not interested in having company, especially from you. You stay the hell away while I'm off duty.
Oh no.
I'm sorry that you died again out there, Your Highness.
Apparently that is all she has to say about that. And this guy, if I could get around his countertop, we haven't looked at for a long time.
New, my friend?
Don't fully understand what the Titan Blood does. For unlocking new aspects of infernal arms once worthy. Oh. Does it actually make more weapons available? At the moment, the only thing we could do would be to buy keys with gems. But I mean, we have a ton of gems. So I think that means we ought to talk to you. See if we can get anything good. So we can add the Elysium Fountain Chamber. I'm assuming is the same health regeneration area, which sometimes even has a boon or an upgrade in it. But given how it says Elysium specifically, I assume that it only applies when you are all the way in Elysium.
This expenditure, and I look forward to seeing the result.
Dude, we can get the Asphodel version as well.
House contractor, my good shade, have yet another job for your distinguished team.
Anything else of note? This would be nice to get. Can't afford it anymore. Getting even more coins, or at least being able to get even more coins out of the urn. We're still halfway or so to making it there. Let's see what Nyx has to say after that long run.
I sense the growing darkness in you, child. I am so very proud of you. You always have been capable, yet now you seem to radiate with newfound power.
She knows. Also, funny how she's praising us for the darkness inside of us, which, I mean, her being the goddess, or... Oh, she's technically the goddess of darkness? Something like that. It's a rare situation in which that's actually a compliment.
I'm getting somewhere, I guess.
Does seem that way. Oh, saw there was a little thing to talk to. Hold on. Hold on. I went away! Alright. And I don't know how much darkness we picked up. A lot. Over 300.
In darkness.
And we have 3 coins, so we could unlock Boiling Blood. Each rank gives you plus 10% attack. Do special damage to foes with that stuff. Which I think only happens when you use a special attack on someone? No. And I wonder, with the pretty significant amount of darkness that we've built up here, I wonder if it starts to become more meaningful for us to try to save up for some of these big ones, because they may be more expensive to start off with, but I would assume absolutely are more expensive toward the latter end as you get towards multiple upgrades with them. I don't think there's anything else in here. Anything else over here?
Good. Little tip, boyo. You find any coinage while you're out there, you be sure to pawn it off to that old Kieran. Bowman guy, use it or lose it, pal. Use it or lose it.
Indeed.
Thanks, mate. Note to self, always spend everything I earn instead of ever saving.
At least for the coins, because the coins only apply to that specific run. Okay, so I am interested to see how many rooms was that?
Tartarus, strong enough to seal away the Titans, but not me.
37. Wow. Almost. I mean, okay, not quite twice as far as what we've done in the past, but far, far and away our best run yet. Alright, so, well, that's going to be a hard one to follow up with, but hope you enjoyed that video. We saw a lot of new stuff that time round, and even for a first time round, we somehow managed to do reasonably well against those things. So, who knows if we'll be able to get there again soon, or hopefully, eventually, be able to even beat both Theseus and the Minotaur. But anyways, that'll have to be for another time, so I'll see you in the next one.